we're never gonna go back. Everybody will copy that, for sure. Like I've seen pictures of people walking around outside with this on. I have a good friend who's a music producer, and this is what we were talking about. If you look at the applications for producing music, they are copying, in some ways, the physical things that are used to make it. So now if I want to change the value of the panning, right, is the sound to the left or to the right, I have this little thing on the screen, and it's strange. My friend was telling me, he's like, I hate this. You have to put the mouse on this dial that's meant to be turned, but now I move the mouse up or down inside to kind of...
Yeah.
And it feels, all of it feels like it's not right for this system.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder, I think the first apps that we start to see for the Vision Pro will probably carry over the same type of interfaces, except, we look at the knob, we look at the dial, and then we use our fingers to turn it. But this is where I think, maybe we can let go of all this. Mm-hmm. And my friend was telling me, and I love this idea, maybe I'm not trying to make tiny motions, but instead I'm making like bigger motions with my hands to move the sound over here, to look at a certain, the guitar player and raise the sound up. Almost like we're conducting an orchestra, right? And I wonder if that allows for new types of expressions and new ways of working. I think we can start, as we start talking about how would I mix music with this, I think at first we're gonna have desktop applications in a big screen and we're gonna use our fingers. But in the future, we might come up with totally new conventions.
Do you think that the Vision Pro have a really precise eye tracking and hand gesture tracking? Do you think it's gonna be the new trend for the next couple of years?
Oh yeah, I think so.
It's more easy to use, right?
Sure. So as soon as that iPhone came out, two things disappeared mostly: the idea of this little stylus and this idea of the little keyboard. I do think as VR goes forward, I think we will see other manufacturers doing the same thing. There might be some contexts where we want a hand controller, maybe some games, right? If I'm gonna play my favorite, shooting game or a sword game or something like this, or maybe I'm playing tennis or something. There might be context for this, but in terms of the things we do every day, I think we're never gonna see a controller. You don't need these extra input devices. We just need to track our hands. And that's what's, even this gesture I'm making now, right? I'm pinching. You and I, we have this thing. So we think about this as pinching, right? It seems intuitive, but this is new in the world, this interaction. It's a function of the device itself. And I think there's something about that with this too, where, oh yeah, of course, you just click to tap. And even now I'm doing this automatically. It feels right now, the idea that we just look at something. Yeah, we're never gonna go back. Everybody will copy that, for sure.
Oh, I think as Apple released this, some news said, so this is the passion that Apple wanted this kind of VR headset or the spatial computing to replace our normal daily mobile devices. Do you think it's gonna be happen, or do you think it's gonna be created another way?
I don't think that's how they intended to be used, and I don't think they see that as a future anytime soon. Like I've seen pictures of people walking around outside with this on, right?
Yeah.
Nowhere on any of Apple's marketing and in any of the places where they talk about it, never are people walking around.
Yeah, the commercials just sit there.
Always. And even when you first put this on, like the where it guides you through setting it up, it shows a woman sitting on a couch. So I think this is meant to be, for now, it's something that I use at home, and it's something that I use when I'm seated. I think they're very careful about that, right? It's not meant to replace my phone or my watch. So I think it's actually challenging to some extent the iPad, and maybe this is the future of desktop computing, where we no longer need a big monitor on our desks. I think it's going to be years before you wear this outside. Or if you do wear it outside, it's very limited. To me, the reason we have pass-through, the place where I would walk around with it, let's say you're working on this movie, or you're editing, and doorbell rings because you have a package, right? Or food delivery or something.
Just go check it.
So now I don't have to take this off, right? I can turn it, It's too bad that the eyes don't work as well as they said they would. You know, I don't think they lied, but they took photographs that made it look better than it actually is in every day. It looks better than it is typically when it's hard to see. But the idea that I can pause what I'm working on, pause the film I'm watching, I can run to the kitchen, I can run to the bathroom,
get a snack.
I can get a snack. If the doorbell rings, I can go down, sign for my package, and then come back upstairs and go back to work.
And the window will remain.
And it's still there, and I can pick up exactly where I left off. It's not meant to be social and that we're all walking around with this. It's meant to be not isolating, which is different. I'm not completely cut off from the world. I can still interact with people. I can sign for a package and so on. And that is where this is meant to be interactive with other people. And to me, a place that's missing, but I know they're thinking about it, is how do two people both wearing a vision, or 10 people all wearing a vision, what does that look like? If we're just having a conversation, I think we would take these headsets off. But what if you're working on editing this video, and maybe we're working at a movie studio, and you've edited this and you want to show me what you're working on, and I'm over here working on my project, whatever that is. I think it would be very interesting if I could walk over to you
and see
your screen, right?
Yeah.
And see what you're working on. Or if we're working on a physical design or something, that you and I can both together look at a model on a table and maybe give notes to one another. I think that's coming. I do think that it clearly is a question of what kind of collaboration is possible with this.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot there. But for now...
Because for now, I think, sorry.
No,
the device is more isolated to like only one person.
That's right.
And also, in the commercial, they don't have two people interact with both headset on. It's only a person who wears it and interact with the real world who doesn't have it.
That's right.
Right?
That's right. That's well observed. Yeah. Because there just isn't anything there yet. But I can envision a workplace. We were talking earlier about, the medical field, engineering, certainly design, game, all sorts of things. I think we will see more group, or at least multiple person interactions with this.
Thank you for watching this episode of our interview. Remember, this is just a part of my in-depth series. Stay tuned for our next video if you want to dive deeper into the more exciting content. Make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification button so you won't miss any update. See you in the next episode.